The following clip was forwarded by Mordem X, and he tells me that it was recorded during a family gathering in South America. The aunt of the two little boys was recording them at the time, as they were playing around with a tricycle. Nothing weird happened that day, nothing that was really noticed at least. However, when the woman was checking the video later with her husband, they found something really strange popping up in the mirror. The woman stated that nobody was standing behind her and that everybody else was sitting at the table at the time. So how do we explain this head popping up? Was it something paranormal? Maybe a deceased family member? The next video was shared by Austin's Vinyl Corner. On his channel he exclusively talks about music and vinyl related topics, as you might be able to tell. But music was not the main talking point of his last video he had uploaded to his channel. Apparently, a work-related friend has talked with him about strange activity that is taking place in her home. Oftentimes she wakes up in the midst of night because she thinks that something is grabbing her, reason enough to place a camera, you know, for surveillance. And everything was fine for a while, until Austin had received the really intriguing recording. Let's hear it from himself.
A coworker sent me a video of some paranormal activity that she was having at her house. This is 100% legitimate. You'll see a short 1-minute video and a still image.
Play this one, I'm gonna play the next one. This dorm right before it, with the 1-minute intervals. It's gonna play 30 seconds, then it's gonna stop for a minute, and within a minute,
His friend also believes that the camera has captured a face here. Do you agree? Myself, I believe it to be nothing but paranoia. But what could create a shape like that underneath the blanket? A pretty terrifying event. We can't really see if the person sleeping is creating this shape herself somehow, so foul play is always a possibility. But let's assume she's not. Could it be paranormal forces that are playing with her in the middle of the night? How realistic is this theory? Whatever we are looking at here, it's a pretty mysterious recording. This video was captured by two friends who were on their way to another friend, who based on their statements was living in a rural area outside of town. After hearing some unexplained screams in the distance, one of them pulled out his phone to record what was going on, and indeed, he seemed to have captured a really odd creature in the distance.
Wait a second, I think I see a...
Someone?
I thought I seen a big buck or something. Wait, stop right there. What is that? Is it a buck?
What is that?
Dude, that's...
Some people speculate that this is another sighting of the ray creature, which is said to be home to these areas. Could that be so? It's really hard to say what exactly was captured that day. Or should I say night? If it wasn't just a setup by a friend or so, maybe we are looking at something mysterious here. The following recording was captured by Ghost Stalkers Paranormal Investigations. The channel owner is documenting paranormal activity that is unfolding in his own home. There seems to be a shape-shifting apparition that spooks him and his whole family. In particular, his 5-year-old daughter seems to come across that thing once in a while. After this incident occurred another time, the man interviews his daughter to tell the viewers about what she saw, and then there was a CCTV recording capturing that being.
The other day, what did you see? And tell us about it.
I saw a black figure.
A black figure. Okay, so how big was it?
As big as a grown-up.
As big as a grown-up?
It had red eyes.
Red eyes? Were they bright? Were they dark? Were they...
They're really bright.
They were bright?
It was staring at me.
So it seemed to be watching you? Okay, and did it make you feel uncomfortable? It did?
It made me feel uncomfortable, really uncomfortable, kind of scared.
Is that why you was telling me real quick, trying to get my attention? Did it have hair? Or it was bald?
It was all bald.
There seems to be an unidentified muffled voice saying hey in the background.
Did it have hair? Or it was bald? Did it have hair? Or it was bald?
The man goes on and explains that they seem to come across this apparition pretty often. It can be seen peeking around the corner of the threshold at the game room, and his daughter saw it at the same place the following day. The man's son also sees that thing and refers to it as a phantom cat. And this particular shape should be interesting, because what the CCTV camera in the actual game room captured looks pretty similar to what his little son describes. Apparently you can tell from the footage that it is not their cat or dog, and it is shaped pretty oddly. When his daughter saw that thing, the day it was recorded again, she ran into the kitchen. Look at the footage and tell me what you can see. On first glance, people might think it is a cat, but apparently this is not the case. So if it is not a cat, what exactly is it? I don't think it looks like a dog necessarily, but I have to say the color and the way it moves reminds me of other shadow captures that channels like Donnie Drunkard and Ghosts of Carmel, Maine had made in the past. Me hear what you guys think. This was sent by Brian, and unfortunately he didn't state the source. Apparently a man was noticing some strange events unfolding in his apartment. It got so weird that he grabbed his phone and started recording. He noticed that the light was malfunctioning, but what's stranger is that something seems to be appearing in front of the door here, before it just closes.
Okay, it's done. What?
A paranormal incident. A user called Burgi Booty posted the following. A friend of mine saw this outside his house, located in Washington. Any ideas? This area appears to be private and fenced, so there was nobody supposed to be on that property, other than the people living there. But this appeared to be nobody they were familiar with, so what could he snap here? Some people pointed out that it reminds them of the devil. It looks like a figure with horns, maybe even a tail. Or is it a completely different being? Maybe just something with a head on. and it seems to also be pointing at something. Really mysterious. Do you think it's just an intruder? Then there was one more comment that pointed out that it looks pretty similar to the Krampus. I'd love to hear your explanations. This was shared by user Attacks. He also got alarmed one night, since his dog was behaving really strange. When initially exiting his house, his dog Domino seems to be attracted by something. He makes it onto the lawn and just stares at something. Attacks couldn't see anything really at the time, but noticed this outline in the distance. Needless to say that nobody was allowed on the property at night.
Domino, what is that? What the hell is that? Hey!
His viewers speculate what this mysterious silhouette could be. What's your idea? This video was recorded by DK Karen, a young girl from Indonesia who loves traveling and exploring. Today she seemed to be traveling to an old house in the region, which is supposed to be haunted, and it acts as a form of museum of the occult. Apparently it was even used as a filming location for an Indonesian horror film in the past. Being interested in the mysterious side of things, Karen traveled to this house with two of her friends to record a little bit and to capture the spirit of this creepy location. Many people are sure that they captured something really scary this day, and while they were touring the upper floor, nobody else was in the house. They were absolutely certain about that. However, when filming the location from the outside, there seemed to be somebody on the upper floor, although nobody should have been in the building.
Perasaan ada foto si ibunya deh.
Ada.
Di dalam kan?
Di dalam ada.
Ada yang tahu rumah ini? Rumah pengabdi setan. Nih pengabdinya.
Of course we don't know if that's true, but what makes this whole incident even more creepy is the way this person up there is staring at our camera woman, and then just floats back into the dark room. It is a pale figure, and I can't see it taking any steps. It's literally hovering back. The friends didn't notice anybody on the second floor at that time. It looks like it will always stay a mystery. The following has been captured by Lee on his channel Really Haunted, and he goes on by saying, I believe my house is really haunted. Over the last 12 months, me and my family have been subject to paranormal activity that is both terrifying and deeply disturbing. A few weeks ago, we decided it was time we documented this, and no one believes this kind of activity is possible. And this apparently was the reason for him to contact one of the top ghost hunting event companies in the world to figure out what's going on. What is going on? Doesn't look like this is just a draft, does it? Almost if somebody is grabbing it and moving it around. But this wasn't everything happening that night. Something clearly shaking the door handle before slowly opening it. And then there is a mist-like person walking towards the right in the bathroom. Is it the cause for all of that paranormal activity? A good reason why one would believe a place is haunted, isn't it? What's your opinion? Pretty spooky. Now this video was shared by Ruano Eduro, and he says, look closer, you will see shadow moving away from the swing. This clip is from the Maldives. So apparently we can see it exiting this swing area. What's interesting is that the swing is still in full swing, so to say, but yet something seems to be exiting it. There is certainly a shadow. Now, what could have caused it? I'd like to hear your explanations for that. Definitely an interesting capture. Ross Allison has posted the following part of an investigation their team had held in the Homestead restaurant one night. The old restaurant is located in West Seattle. It is said that they were checking out the perimeter at the time when they noticed something strange appearing on one of the team's members' cameras. They had no idea what it was, but it was clear after a few minutes that it had to be an anomaly. A dark shadow seems to be peeking out of one of the open doors in the dark restaurant, and then it just vanishes. The team was baffled, to say the least. And they are pretty certain to have captured a real shadow figure here. What's your opinion? A paranormal find, or was something else going on here? This video was sent by Jessie and was recorded by the Ring camera of her sister. She states, "My sister doesn't believe in ghosts at all, but she sent me this video 2 days ago. She said she was outside, smoking, and felt something weird, like someone was watching her. She checks her video from time to time, but this one, she knew she needed to check, and this is what she caught. She lives in West Virginia. Her house isn't facing any other houses. There's just woods on the other side of the road, and in her front yard is just her daughter's swing set. So, what has her camera caught that night? Apparently there's an unexplained apparition. Let's take a look at that." There appears to be something walking by the railing on the other side of the porch. It looks like an apparition that is semi-transparent before it dematerializes into a mist-like shape. This is very odd. I don't believe that this has been caused by another person. I'm pretty sure it's something else. It's also unlikely that it was a reflection of some sorts. I wonder, could her sister capture something paranormal here?